Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CTD show, which stands for Candid Talk with Dilmi. It's your girl once again, Dilmi, as the name implies. Welcome to today's show. Today, I would want to say thank you to everyone that has supported us so far. Thank you for how far you have taken the mini episodes on board. Thank you for how far you watched it, and all the various feedback I've gotten from that has been really heartwarming. Thank you. But today, the topic we're going to be looking into is opposition. Yes, you heard opposition. Your view and perception about this matters. So I know when we want to start with opposition, I'm going to start with the definition like I always do. And I've been able to pinpoint 3 different things as to the definition of opposition. The first is resistance or dissent, usually expressed in actions or argument. The next is it also refers to disagreement with something, often by speaking or fighting against it. 3, it is also an action of opposing, resisting, or combating. Now we've looked at the definition of opposition, and there's some key things that basically underlines it. It's always against. It stands against something, a new idea, a new move, a new action. Opposition. So for instance, in the United Kingdom, we have the opposing party. So it means that whatever the government does, it's sort of like a critique of the government. Any new plan, any new action, any new directive, anything new is being criticized, dissected by the opposition. So that's where I'm coming from. There's some words that are associated with opposition, and they are but not limited to some of this. Pushbacks. So you have an idea and a friend or a colleague just doesn't like the sound of it, or the fact that it's a good idea but it's coming from you, so they push it back. It could be disagreement, criticism, antagonism, hostility, comparison, and contrast. Opposition can come in various ways, but I've been able to sort of direct it into 2 different things. So the first one is that you could have a very direct opposition, or sometimes indirect opposition. So a direct can come in terms of an argument, so it's quite confronting. It's direct to your face, in your face, that kind of thing. Indirect can come in form of it might not necessarily appear as opposition to you, but trust me, that hostility is there, that underlying criticism, that underlying comparison, that underlying contrast is there. It could also be a very silent resistance or a direct assault. So I could just not like anything that has to do with you because it's coming from you, or I could be really quite direct and hostile about it and go direct in terms of assaulting probably your person physically, or even assaulting your person in terms of your, who you are. So character assassination, they all come into this particular, umbrella. But the key thing is that the underlying factor is still underlying in this. It still goes, it's still the same. So even if it's direct or indirect, even if it's silent or direct assault, it's still the same thing. So the same thing is still playing in this. We all know what opposition is, and we all know how sometimes bad or how harmful opposition can be. But I'm not even going to be looking into that at all. There's no need for me to, overbeat the horse at all. There's no need for that. But rather, I'm taking a different approach. And what I'm looking into today is to, sort of shed more light on the benefit of opposition, by, taking a look at individuals' view and perception. So how you view it, your perception about this particular thing. is what I'm really going to be looking into. So for instance, we all see things differently. If I'm standing on the right and I see a number 6, I could say it's 6, and the other person on my side will say it's a 9. But you know what? It could be a 6 to me and a 9 to that person. The only difference is we're looking at it from different lenses. So that's why I want us to, really go back and see, what does it mean? How can we deal with opposition? What are the things that we need to look out individually to opposition? Okay. So, that's the reason why I'm focusing on that. That's basically the reason I'm looking at that, to look at the right view and the perception. Because once you have the right view and perception about opposition, you sort of react differently to it. So for instance, if you always view opposition to be a bad thing, then you're always going to be quite on the defensive. So you feel, oh, this person is opposing my ideas, this person is opposing my view, this person is opposing what I bring to the table. You would always go defensive. However, when you have a different idea or understanding of opposition as a whole, then you can deal with it differently. Okay. So my take is, opposition it's not really a bad thing after all. So the two sides to the coin. Yeah, sometimes it could be painful when someone just constantly push back at you, resist you with all they have, or there's this underlying hostility between you and that person. It's quite painful, to be honest. However, I want us to look at the good side of it. Okay, so with your growth, for instance, so your journey in life, your growth journey, it's a journey, not a destination. And with every journey, there would be, some smooth roads, there will be some bumpy roads, there will be even some incredibly difficult terrain, things that you just feel, oh God, I cannot for the life of me summon this, I cannot do this, I cannot achieve this. However, does it stop you from reaching your destination? No. So that's what I want you to see in opposition. How do you view opposition? Do you look at it as, oh, that is the end of the road for me? When someone opposes your view, opposes you as a person, opposes your ideas, do you look at it as the end of the road? Or do you look at it as, okay, I had a smooth ride the first time, now it's a bumpy ride, I'm going to have to change my strategy? Or you're looking at it as a difficult terrain where I have to think about new ideas, new strategies, new plans to be able to combat this? How are you looking at it? Okay, so for us to talk in depth about this, I'm going to be quickly looking into sharing a few things, which is 1, know your goal, know what you want to achieve, create a niche, keep being you, continue to carve out your niche, continue to get better. Don't listen to the noise. Sometimes oppositions are just noise. When they go low, 'cause sometimes the opposing side can go really low. They'll go really low to cut you where it would really hurt. But when they go low, like Michelle Obama says, you go high. And then remain focused. I want you to note that in the journey of life and in your journey of your growth, and also in your journey of, achieving great and mighty things, those things you've hoped for, those things that you're dreaming about, some people will immediately catch your vision. Some people would, immediately you sell that idea to them. They will run with it like it's theirs. They will support you with everything they have. They will basically take you on. That's just a fact of life. But that doesn't mean that they cannot oppose you in terms of giving you constructive criticism. So what you do with these people is that, first of all, you need to know those that fall into the category of your first love. That those people that catch into your vision immediately, those people that love what you're saying, those people that the moment you bring the idea off the table, oh God, they're buying it, they're licking it up, they're helping you. You need to know, I categorize them as your first love. You need to appreciate them. You need to encourage them. You need to make them feel valued. Make them know that they are in it together with you. That is an approach to take. So when they give you some criticism in terms of maybe like a feedback or something, I'm just going to quickly give an example. Like the first video I did on the CTD show, a friend of mine sent a message to me. It was a feedback. He said, you know what, Ade, why don't you put a bit of music, background music, because with that it sounds more interesting, more appealing. You know, some people might take that and say, oh my God, that is a direct, I just came up with something. You should tell me good things. You should tell me positive things. Let me feel all fluffy inside. But you know what? That was his feedback, and I used it for my video Hope. I integrated music in it. I integrated, background songs in it. And it was amazing. And the moment I did it, I sent him the link to the video. He listened to it and he gave me the thumbs up. So those are the kind of things you're going to look at. Even your first love are still going to criticize you. But look at it as constructive criticism. Appreciate them. Look at what they're saying. Improve on it. Okay? So the second set is some will need a bit more convincing. So some people, they're not resisting you, but they're just on the fence. They're just sitting down there. And they will be there unless you convince them. So for this set of people, what you need to do is that you identify this as an opportunity to put them on your side, opportunity to buy them over. What are the things I think you should do? For this set of people, you need to first of all identify them. Not for the purpose of contempt or, rather than, you saying, oh, they don't like me, they don't like my ideas, they don't like who I am. No, it's not that. Rather, you need to understand them. You need to know what makes them tick. You need to know where their soft point is. So when you know that, then you can work with yourself in order to align your goals and aspiration to what they are saying. With that, you can win them over a period of time. But this is the second set. So those that need a bit more convincing. And then finally, we have those that would never come on board. Or they would oppose your every move, your every action, the way you say it, the way you didn't say it, the unspoken words they believe that you mean. Oh, the gesture, the way you rolled your eyes, the way you gave that suggestion. They would oppose everything and anything, either directly in terms of a direct assault or indirectly, such as resistance, pushback, hostility, in that form. But how do you deal with this set of people? The first thing I want you to know is that it is not your fault. It is not your fault that in this category. So don't blame yourself. Don't make it look like, oh, maybe it's because of how I say it, or it's because of how I look, or it's because of how I put it down. Trust me, they won't even like it if you smile. They won't like it if you're squeezing your face, you're boning or anything. They won't like it either. So when you remember that it's not your fault, then you can take a better approach and a better strategy. Just look at the life of Jesus, for instance. He was the savior of the world, yet some people despised him. So how much more you? So in order for you to do this, know that they would be your greatest critic, either destructive critic. Sometimes it could come about in a very good constructive criticism, but they would be your greatest critic. So the approach to this is be ready. Know them, identify them. Once you know and identify them, dissect what they say in terms of their criticism. Know where it is, where the room is for you to improve on yourself, and know when it's just damn right hate. So you know that, oh, this is just it's coming from this person, so I know it will never be a good comment or anything. But when they're saying something that is good, latch on it, improve yourself in that aspect. Because it's an opportunity. How I said is that it's an opportunity to prove them wrong each time. It's an opportunity to get better. It's an opportunity for you to grow. It is an opportunity. Do not, I beg you, in everything that you do not let opposition stop you. Do not let them derail you. Do not let them take you off your track. Rather, you learn from this. Each of those group. So your first love, your those that need more convincing, and those that will never like you. Learn from them and use it as an opportunity to grow. My final words to you: see opposition as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to get better, and an opportunity to improve yourself. I hope this blesses you. From me to you, keep growing, keep getting better, remain focused, and when they go low, in the words of Michelle Obama, you go high. Have a good day, everyone.